ziggy, two ziggy, more ziggy. Cash in my pocket, each can ziggy. Take ziggy in the pole ziggy. Big can see the budget. One ziggy, two ziggy.
Enjoy real value online with TM Pick and Pay Click and Collect. It's time for the news.
Hello and thank you for joining us. You are watching News at 8. I am Yvonne Mokondani. Noble Maunga gives us the bulletin in sign language, and Dora Ngube will join us a little later with part of the bulletin from Montrose. But for now, let's take a look at the stories that we are leading with. President Emmerson Mnangagwa congratulates South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa on his re-election. President Ramaphosa was elected during the first sitting of South Africa's parliament this Friday. In business, government seeks to utilize the SADC Industrialization Week to accelerate the country's industrialization drive. And in sport, FC Platinum moved to the apex of the Kasulaga Premier Soccer League. Those are our leading stories. Again, thank you for joining us. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has signed a book of condolences at the Malawian embassy after the death of the country's vice president, Dr. Saulos Chilima, in a plane crash on the 10th of this month.
On the 10th of June, Malawi lost his vice president, Dr. Saulos Chilima, who was traveling in a military aircraft with 9 other people. Their plane crashed in the Chikangawa mountain range in the northern part of Malawi. President Mnangagwa signed the Book of Condolences at the Malawian embassy in Harare this Saturday, describing the crash as a tragic event. He said Zimbabwe is mourning with the people of Malawi as they endure with the loss.
This was really a tragic event which has stunned all of us in the region. We did not expect such a tragic accident to happen, which has resulted in the loss of the Vice President of the Republic of Malawi and several other distinguished citizens of the Republic of Malawi. We are very deeply sorry, and I have conveyed my condolences to the President of the Republic of Malawi and the people of Malawi that we, the people of Zimbabwe, do indeed mourn with them for the loss of their great sons and daughters.
Dr. Chilima, who died at the age of 51, is expected to be buried on Monday at his home village in Jewu district, about 170 kilometers from the Malawian capital, Lilongwe. Malawi President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera declared 21 days of mourning. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Harare.
South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa has been re-elected for a second term as president of the Republic.
President Ramaphosa was elected during the first sitting of South Africa's parliament after the voting of Speaker and Deputy Speaker this Friday. Ramaphosa won the vote after facing the Progressive Caucus, comprising parties such as the EFF, PAC, UDM, UAT, ATM and Al-Jamaa, who had put forward Julius Malema to contest for the post of president with 283 votes. In his speech after re-election, President-elect Ramaphosa hailed the new coalition, saying voters expected leaders to act and to work together for the good of the people.
I wish to state very clearly, this is not a grand coalition of 2 or 3 parties. It is a government of national unity that we are constituting, and we've been here before. We were here in 1994 when we sought to unite our country and to effect reconciliation. We are here now, as directed by the votes that our people delivered, to work together to ensure that we address the challenges that they face. And this we shall do, and this is what I am committed to achieve as the President of the Republic of South Africa.
Meanwhile, President Emmerson Mnangagwa has congratulated President-elect Ramaphosa. In a statement, President Mnangagwa said the re-election is testimony to the great confidence and trust that the people of South Africa have in Comrade Ramaphosa. He added that he reaffirms a strong commitment to working closely with the South African leader to further strengthen and deepen the strong bonds of friendship and solidarity that exist between Zimbabwe and South Africa. President Mnangagwa added that he hopes Harare and Pretoria will continue working closely at the regional and multilateral levels towards the regional integration agenda, as well as in seeking enduring solutions to global challenges. President-elect Ramaphosa will be sworn in on the 19th of June at the Union Buildings in Pretoria in a ceremony set to be presided over by Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. Olina Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, the Pan-African Parliament has congratulated President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa following his re-election as President of the Republic of South Africa on the 14th of June. In a statement, President of the Pan-African Parliament, Chief Fortune Charumbira, said the re-election attests to the confidence that political parties and people of South Africa have in President Ramaphosa's leadership, as well as his ability to steer the first coalition government in South Africa. He commended the South African president for putting the interests of that country first by successfully spearheading negotiations for a coalition government. Chief Charumbira also reaffirmed the Pan-African Parliament's unwavering commitment to continue working with South Africa in pursuit of the continental development and integration agenda. Now, ZANU-PF President and First Secretary Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa says Zimbabweans must continue to work for the development of their country through harnessing their expertise from various sectors. He was addressing the ZANU-PF Women's League National Assembly at the party headquarters this Friday.
The party's president and first secretary, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, addressed the women drawn from the country's 10 provinces on an array of issues, including the performance of the economy. The president noted that every Zimbabwean should do their best in their area of expertise to propel national development.
The Second Republic is expediting the implementation of projects and programs that speed up the attainment of Vision 2030. This includes the areas of education, health, water, sanitation, hygiene, as well as legislative reforms. Pakabuya Second Republic, Kare, patafunda isu, ndivamwenye taiti anenge agona kumemoriza Shakespeare, toti ndiye mberi. Shakespeare yaukamemorize. Wapedza kuti memorize Shakespeare oda kudya. Saka education must not be to memorize Shakespeare. Dzidzo ngave kuti kana mwana adzidza ngawane chaanoita chinopa service to the community kana chinoproduce a product. So we have now introduced in all our state universities innovation, invention, science and technology, so that any student who leaves a university is now equipped to service the country, or is now equipped to be productive, to produce.
President Mnangagwa also used the platform to explain the introduction of the new gold-backed ZiG currency.
takatambura neinflation munyika mari yedu ichirohwa for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Ndagara pasi nagavana kwete aripo uyo akaenda. Ndagara pasi kati toda kuti mari yedu isarohwa neinflation zvakare. So for 2.5 years, on a monthly basis, we took 10% of monthly gold production and put it aside. 2.5 years. When we now knew we had enough gold to back a new currency, munoyevuka ndichinda ku Reserve Bank sinamboitika ndichivhura mavaults eku Reserve Bank ndichikuratidzai gold.
The president appreciated the role women play in nation building.
Our roles as men and as women. The role of women continues to keep the nation alive. You keep us alive. You cater for the lives of everybody. We are critically aware the role of women in society. We can never look down upon the role of women. However, because of that criticality of your role in life, it translates itself to the same criticality when you come to the party. If a party has no women's league, that party will not go far. Saka kana msangano une muso wa madzimai, msangano iwoyo uchagara ugoga.
The Second Republic is pursuing a national development agenda anchored on the National Development Strategy 1 economic blueprint. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Harare.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa has congratulated the President of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Xi Jinping, on the occasion of his 71st birthday. President Mnangagwa said, on behalf of the ZANU-PF party, the government of Zimbabwe, and indeed on his behalf, wishes President Jinping good health and many more years of personal success and that of his people and the country. He noted with great satisfaction that the excellent bilateral relations between China and Zimbabwe will continue to grow and expand as the two governments and people explore new areas of cooperation for mutual benefit. In other news, village business units that are envisaged to spur rural industrialization and modernization have started to pay dividends for villagers in Buhera district with hopes of improved livelihoods.
Beneficiaries of the Village Business Units VBU in Buhera, who spoke to ZBC News, are grateful to the Second Republic for implementing sustainable projects that are uplifting livelihoods.
Repu iyoyo takutoitengesa tine chibage chedu takachitarisira kuti pakupera kwa July takutotanga kutochitengesa chinge chaibva.
Sine mvura yavakatipa iyi tanga tichidhaya hatichadhayi tangotora mvura mumatepi.
Yezo takumwa mvura yakanaka, zvipfuwo mhuka dzedu mombe dzakumwa mvura yakanaka yakubva patepi hatisina dambudziko hatine dambudziko guru.
Dzenga Village Business Unit Secretary Mrs. Patience Mhlanga says hopes for a better life have been rekindled.
Chirongwa ichi chiri kutibatsira zvakanyanya. Takatarisa kuti nzara nekufamba kwenguva mwedzi mitatu chaiyo nzara mudzimba inenge yapera, but at the moment nguva yedu takuwana zvokuita.
Government targets to establish at least 10,000 VBUs by the end of the year, with each unit occupying 1 hectare and a solar-powered borehole which will be fitted with tanks to facilitate drip irrigation. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Buhera.
Contracting parties to the Ramsar Convention have been rallied to contribute to the development of global wetland conservation.
The 63rd Standing Committee to the Ramsar Convention, convened in Gland, Switzerland, has seen more than 140 countries discussing several aspects of the convention's functioning. These include cooperation with other multilateral environment agreements, communication capacity building, participation awareness, and financial matters, among others. Environment, Climate and Wildlife Permanent Secretary, Professor Prosper Matondi, who is leading the Zimbabwe delegation, highlighted the significance of the conference, in which, as incoming COP president, Zimbabwe is expected to chair some of the sessions.
We are going through the various texts for the preparation under the Standing Committee. The Standing Committee is also underpinned by different working groups and working streams, such as management, governance, procedures, strategic planning, institutional strengthening, communication and technology, and also the heart of it, that is also the science of wetlands and what they mean. So those various streams of work are the ones that are then go to plenary, and where decisions are then made, or either they are then formulated into resolutions that will put into consideration at COP 15 in July next year.
Zimbabwe's attendance to the 63rd Standing Committee to the Ramsar Convention is also set to benchmark progress made in preparation for the Conference of Contracting Parties, COP15. Zimbabwe won the bid to host the event, set for the 23rd to the 31st of July 2025 in Victoria Falls, based on the country's tremendous work in wetlands conservation. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News.
Remember, there is more news on our website, that is www.zbcnews.co.zw. You can also interact with us on various social media platforms, that is Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as well as our WhatsApp channel, our handle at ZBC News Online. And our stories still to come in this bulletin. In business news, government seeks to utilize the SADC Industrialization Week to accelerate the country's industrialization drive. And in sport, FC Platinum moved to the apex of the Kasulaga Premier Soccer League. Do stay tuned for those stories and more coming up after this break. You're still watching News at 8. Thank you for staying with us. Increased compliance to the Corporate Governance Act has become a game changer in propelling infrastructural development initiatives being spearheaded by the Second Republic.
Government has acknowledged the positive impact of compliance to Corporate Governance Act by public entities in accelerating the pace at which infrastructural development projects are being implemented. A public entities corporate governance oversight meeting held in Mutare this Friday saw Transport and Infrastructural Development Minister Honorable Felix Mona imploring institutions under his purview to prioritize transparency and accountability.
We must keep abreast with developments in emerging corporate governance practices which enhance transparency and accountability, such as integrated sustainable reporting and formulation of simplified guidelines.
Manicaland Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution Advocate Mishek Mugadza hailed the progress made in rehabilitating roads in the province.
Let me take this opportunity to thank the government as ably led by His Excellency President of the
and the National Handling Services Board Chairperson Advocate Godwin Nyengedza spoke on the strides to comply with the Corporate Governance Act.
There were 71 issues that were in the Grand Thornton forensic audit, which were given by Parliament to actually the recommendations to solve, and we can safely say that we have actually, of those 71, 68 have been resolved and 5 are pending, which are related to other stakeholders.
The Second Republic, under the able stewardship of His Excellency, has said all state enterprises that can make money, they have to be run profitably, and we have taken that and we are running with it.
Infrastructure development is one of the priority areas set under the National Development Strategy 1 as the country targets to attain an upper middle income society by 2030. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
We now cross over to our Montrose studios in Malawi, where Dora Ncube is on standby. Good evening, Dora.
Good evening, Yvonne. Many thanks for taking us on for the news at 8, and of course the rest of the team at Pocketville. A lovely evening to you and a lovely evening to our viewers. We continue with the news at 8 from our Montrose news desk. The Binga community in Matabeleland North Province has embraced the new ZiG currency, saying it has brought stability and a feeling of entitlement to the citizenry.
In Binga district of Matabeleland North Province, the people here and the business community have embraced ZiG. This acknowledgement by the Binga community signifies a strong push for inclusive growth and confidence building around the new currency, thus inspiring its usage across the country. The Zimbabwe gold ZiG, which was introduced in April, has received support from all corners of the country and beyond.
ZiG is welcome. It's welcome. We want denominations from coins up to 200.
Turi kuri yando uno ZiG kuti lisike pawo tuliberese kabeno tatu izi kuti libeni tubona ma pictures kupe
ZiG turi yanda twashandiswa anjio turi comfortable kuti isike mu bwingi bwayo tuyiberese nkamboni mali ya mulindiswe.
This position was buttressed by the traditional leadership.
Izim gold hayi isizasebenza layo ngoba hayi imnandi ngoba isidluli kwasha isidluli rand. So kungaphi singayisola khona uyatenga sibili ungazohambe lokuyanda kuyoswipe izinto zimgold hani manje.
Economic experts contend the ZiG is expected to continue anchoring stability and inclusive economic growth. As Zimbabweans continue to embrace ZiG, it is hoped that the currency will live up to expectations. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Binga.
The Devolution program is enhancing the quality of life for rural communities in Zaka district after the commissioning of capital equipment purchased using devolution funds by local authority.
A motorized grader, tipper truck, backhoe loader and a refuse truck are among the capital equipment purchased by the Zaka District Council using the 2023 devolution funds. The equipment will ensure Zaka District Council provides quality service delivery to communities, particularly in roads construction and waste management.
panyaya yeutano baakuno kuti risefi nemota yatotowedzerwa tinozvitenda chaizvo mamune ufende munomu iko zvino marara achatogwa achineswa apo neapo achinorasiwa
ichabatsira nekuchitakurira marara marodzi.
Under the devolution program, Zaka District Council has implemented several developmental projects, key among them construction of clinics, rehabilitation of roads, which include the Vezaharava Road, and the sinking of boreholes at Charuka Clinic and Jerera Primary School.
Devolution iri kutibatsira zvikuru sema-councils. Tanga tisina income yakakwana yekuti titenge equipment pachedu. Sezvamanga muchiona zvinhu zvanga zvaderera kuma-councils kwese kuma-rural district councils.
Maprojects atakaita kubva 2019 they were about 28 mamwe akatopera. Then tichitaura zveequipment tine 5 takatenga nedevolution.
The devolution program is part of government's drive to ensure service delivery reaches the grassroots level.
The procurement of the vehicles is set to enhance service delivery and revive stakeholder confidence, resulting in improved revenue collection efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, the President, Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa, during the launch of Local Authorities Blueprint, a call to action, no compromise to service delivery, said that all local authorities must deliver services.
The devolution concept has been earmarked to transform rural communities as government responds to funding gaps faced by local authorities. Gaima Tambo, ZBC News, Zaka.
One of the longest-serving traditional leaders in Matabeleland South Province, Chief Malaba, who died on the 8th of this month, has been buried at his rural home in Matobo.
A dark cloud hovered over Nyashongwe village in Malaba, Matobo district, as hundreds gathered to pay their last respect to one of the oldest serving chiefs in Matabeleland South Province, the late Chief Malaba this Saturday. Speaker after speaker described the revered traditional leader as a fountain of wisdom.
Ubaba singabantu bakhe into esomkhumbula ngayo akazange asirope akazange asitshele ukuthi idonki nempondo.
Chiefs are playing a crucial role in supporting government programs such as food deficit mitigation program called the Isphala Senkosi. Chief Malaba has left a vacuum which will be hard to fill.
I was lucky to work with him, and he reminds me of several things, and one of it is the need for unity in Zimbabwe.
The president of the Chiefs Council, Chief Mchane Kumalo, called on the Malaba community to be united and follow chieftainship traditions.
Abe muli yako Malaba mhlawumbe kabathandabuza ukuthi njoba sedlule ozangena endaweni yakhe ngubani. Bese kusithi thina izakhamizi sibaphambanise abemuli yona leyo. Sithi hayi Luana kafanelanga ukuthi angene kuleyo ndawo. Umuntu ongcono nguzibani bani. So kuyithi izakhamizi sesiphambula abantwana bako Malaba.
Matabeleland South Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Evelyn Ndlovu, reminded the community of the critical role of traditional leaders in implementing government programs.
He participated in community development projects such as construction of schools, clinics in his area of jurisdiction. He was also a strong advocate for environmental preservation and awareness.
Among the mourners was Chief Justice Luke Malaba, Chief Stauza of Beitbridge, Chiefs Masendo and Mpino of Bulilima, Chiefs Nyangazonge and Fuyane of Matobo. Born in Malaba village of Matobo district in 1938, Chief Malaba attended Nyashongwe and St. Joseph's primary schools. He was installed Chief Malaba in 1988 after the death of his father Ntelela Malaba in 1986. He is survived by his wife Dora Mhlanga and 5 children. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Matobo.
And may his dear soul rest in eternal peace. On that note, we take you back to our Pocket Soul studios. Back to you, Yvonne.
Thank you, Dora. Now taking it on from the capital, the Second Republic is living up to its promise of ensuring food and nutrition security through the Presidential Fisheries Program, with 18 dams being stocked with Nile tilapia breeders in Mashonaland Central Province.
Kuruve district is the latest beneficiary of the Presidential Fisheries Program that is increasing food and nutrition security through stocking of dams with fish. New beneficiaries of the scheme expressed optimism they will establish fishing ventures apart from consuming the fish after receiving a tranche of 10,000 Nile tilapia breeders that were released into Mdindo Dam.
zvatanga tichiwana tiri mugadheni tawedzera zvakare muriwo yemuchi mudhemu tadya taguta tinozotengesa zvakare katotenga hopfuka hatina hopfuka gore rino.
Tinotenda isi vechidiki nechirongwa chehove chauya chinowanika zvinotibatsira pamusoro peupenyu hwedu tiwana pundutso chekurarama.
Takuchikwanisa kuwana maprojects atinoita kuburikidza nechirongwa chefish farming chauya kuzokandirwa mudhemu redu iri. Madzimai mazhinji akutowana kuti achawana sei muriwo.
Mashonaland Central Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Christopher Magomo, said the program initiated by President Emmerson Mnangagwa in 2021 is timely as the province is mitigating the ravages of the El Nino-induced drought.
Mukurapa chirwere chenzara ichi chakatarisana nenyika, mutungamiriri wenyika vakaona kuti zvakakodzera kuti madhemu ari mumatunhu atinobva akasiyana siyana anga achikandwa hove muchirongwa chinonzi Presidential Fisheries Scheme.
Agritechs and Radco Fisheries officials, who are technical partners in the fisheries program, highlighted the economic and health benefits of sustainable fishing.
There's National and Central tine target yekudyara hove kumaponzi nemadhamu zvinosvika 123 pari zvino takuma 17. As a ministry tine kwatiri kutoseta kuchange kuchigadzirwa mafingerlings iwaya paHenderson Research.
Very soon dzinotanga kudi kubreeda dzomultiply dzobva dzawanda mudhemu medu. Hove idzi dzakanakira kuti dzine iwo anonzi maomega 3 fatty acids anopreventa diabetes, chirwere chemwoyo, uye negomarara reprostate.
Under the Presidential Fisheries Program, 1,200 dams nationwide will be stocked with fingerlings by 2025. Zimbabwe is endowed with 10,000 dams and a conducive climate for fish production, with figures from Agritechs indicating the country has a supply deficit of about 40,000 kilograms of fish each year, creating business opportunities for farmers to produce and supply fish. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Kuruve.
Bechnef Bridge Hospital in Chipinge has received a consignment of health equipment and food aid as the church and the private sector complement government's efforts to ensure people's well-being.
Bechnef Bridge Hospital is the latest health institution to benefit from the Seventh-day Adventist Church in collaboration with Bridging Gaps Foundation after handing over an assortment of equipment and groceries this Saturday. The hospital and the local leadership commended the life-transforming gesture.
This is going a long way towards helping my patients.
Constituency yeBhoera South tinofara zvisingabviri zvataitirwa necheche yeSDA yakabatana nesangano rinotungamirwa nababa namai Tavurei. Zvinhu zvavatipa zviri kunanga chaipo patanga tine matambudziko mahombe, kutanga padambudziko renzara vatipa hupfu nemafuta, vakauya padambudziko rezvikwanisiro pachipatara pedu.
Bridging Gaps Foundation Chief Executive Officer Mr. Mberikwazo Chitambo revealed plans to extend the social amenities program countrywide.
Food relief is one part. Tine zveurongwa hweutano. Tichadzidzisana newagari wemuno Bechnef Bridge kuti chinoita kuti uzouye kuchipatara kurwara. Ungaita sei kuti usauye kuchipatara? Paunouya kuchipatara ndakubata newe inozi curative, ndakukurapa. Asi kuti usauye kuchipatara ungaita sei kumba uku.
Manicaland Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Advocate Misheki Mugadza, commended the multi-stakeholder approach towards improving access to health care.
Kurunyararo kunzvimbo kwakaita disaster and zvinhu zvakashatira vanhu vakaresettliwa, and it was important to have that hospital put up through my well wishers, my private partners, pamwechete nehurumende yacho pachayo pakawaka a state of the art clinic yatakavhura kune equipment nezvese zvemhando yepamusoro. Nhasi tiri pano inzvimbo futi yatiri kuda kuti isumudzirwe kudarika even zvaitori, but when we get help from outside like this, it enhances the speed at which we'll get to where we want to get. Takatasana nevision 2030.
Some of the donated equipment include 60 hospital bed mattresses, 120 bedding sheets and consumables, while the community received 30 tons of mealie meal, 10 tons of beans, and 3,000 liters of cooking oil. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Bechnef Bridge.
The need for deterrent penalties for malcontents who start failed fires dominated proceedings at a provincial fire week campaign held in Wetland this Friday.
With failed fires continuing to wreak havoc in Mashonaland East Province, destroying lives and property, villagers who attended a provincial fire week campaign in Ward 1 in Wetland concur on the need for stiffer penalties for offenders.
Zvakafana nemudzango wefodya unoita 10 cents. Chiso chinhu chekuti chingazokwanise kuti chikonzerese kuparira kweupenyu hwemunhu kana zvipfuwo zvevanhu zvinokosha kana michero kana miti. Munhu izvozvo zvoda kutoti munhu avapuwe mutongo wavo unoenderana nawo wekuti mumwe chete akapuwa mutongo iwowo vazhinji vacho vanomva vatya futi kuita zvinhu zvakafanana neizvozvo.
Avo vanokonzeresa moto unoparadza masango ndinoona sokuti
dai mutemo wambogona kuti ubate vanhu vakaita sevavo.
The need for collective effort in the fight against failed fires also took center stage.
Tiri kuti nguva iyo ino patakupinda ndo pari kudonha mashizha akawanda uye tiri kupinda mune yatoti dry season. Kudonha kwemashizha uku kunokurudzirawo kuti moto inyanye kubvira zvakanyanya. Saka tiri kunzi ngatigare tagadzirira nekuti nguva yatiri ino kusvika panozonaya mvura kuchange kuine moto yakawanda.
Vanhu vedu vanorarama nekurima nekuchengeta zvifuyo zvavo. Saka musora imomo nemubundo ndo mune chikafu chemombe.
Varimi vedu vakufanira kuti vabatane, varimi vechidiki, varimi vakuru, yatinoti pachirungu symbiotic relationship, kuti vasina zvikwanisiro vopa varimi vane zvikwanisiro mukana wekuti vacheke huswa, vobheila, vozogovana huswa huya kuitira zvipfuyo zvedu.
Tatarisa mwaka wakapera, gore rakapera, takasunga vanhu vanokwana kuita 67. Vazhinji vacho ndivakaonekwa mapurazi avo akatsva asi vasina kunge vakaisa mafire guards.
A total of 79,866 hectares of land were destroyed in 2023 in the province, with Chikomba, Goromonzi, Wedza and Marondera districts being the worst affected. Gerald Sasa, ZBC News, Wedza.
News at 8 takes a short break. We will be back with business. Stay with us.
In Zimbabwe,
for a conversation that ordinarily has to lead to practical solutions, addressing the funding gaps that as a region we are facing. We have got numerous projects as a country that we hope to expose to the funding institutions during that week or during that investment day.
The SADC Industrialization Week precedes the SADC Summit that will see President Emmerson Mnangagwa assuming the chairmanship of the regional bloc. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Government has reiterated its commitment to creating an enabling environment for businesses to grow and contribute towards the country's gross domestic product.
Enabling the growth of businesses by ensuring access to raw materials in a conducive business environment took center stage when Mashonaland East Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Senator Apollonia Mjereng, toured Kefalos, a company into cheese, ice cream and yogurt production in Seke District.
We need to look at our dairy farmers around Seke, close to Kefalos, and also from other districts. And we are going to sit down with our livestock department and see how we can restock our farmers so that they will not have shortages of milk.
The firm, which also exports in the region, lauded government for its business-friendly policies, which allow for growth of enterprises.
In the past 5 years, we've managed to grow both infrastructure and in terms of the volumes of product that we're producing. So we are finding that there's a very enabling environment that we're able to work in.
The Second Republic is on a drive to promote business growth and investments through its Open for Business mantra to transform the economy as enunciated in the National Development Strategy 1. Gerald, ZBC News, Seke.
And now in the world of arts, a young filmmaker is making waves in Bindura after releasing his movie Dengu Village, currently airing on social media.
Ukumbozifambisa seko pamzinda pano asikana ndakuzvifambisa papiko pano pamzinda usabvunza kuti ndadi iwe uri kufambidzana nemwana komana wa mama.
Dubbed Dengu Village, the movie which revolves around a royal family's day-to-day life in a traditional rural setup, touches on the theme of love and betrayal.
Takashutira kunonzi kwa Dengu muno mubindura. Movie iri riri kutaura riri kubuditsa chinyakare like zvaitwa kare, dressing yaipfekwa kare, mararamiro aita vanhu vakare.
Driven by support from fans, the young filmmaker says Dengu Village is his second movie. The film has made a positive impact in Bindura after grade 6 pupil Charmaine Piri, who featured in the film and was not attending school at the time of shooting, got a scholarship to resume her studies.
I was very excited. Zvauti munhu unongoziva experience yekuti munhu ari kufara kuti uri kuacta movie.
Vana vane zvipo zvakadaro sekunyanyanya ndakanzwa kuti mwana haasi kuenda kuchikoro. Mushure mekunge ndaona chipo chakadaro, I think zvipo izvozvo zvinoda kusapotwa nekudzidza kwakakwana kuti mwana iye akwanise kuachieva magoals ake zviri effective. Nenyaya yekuti anenge achishandisa chipo chake uyezve akadzidza.
The talented film producer, who also produces music and choreographs dances, is currently featuring his works on YouTube. He says the major challenge in the sector is funding, adding as a vision to collaborate with the national broadcaster Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Bindura.
Zimbabwe will join other countries across the globe in celebrating the World Music Day next Friday with a concert dubbed Special Music Day, set to bring together more than 3 music genres.
With World Music Day commemorated on the 21st of June, the event will be headlined by Zambia's Mumbayashi, who will share the stage with Zimbabwean Afrofusion musician Masa Caroline and local Rumba outfit Banadisas.
We are celebrating the World Music Day to celebrate music, generally speaking. So we wanted to celebrate it here also in Harare. On that day, here at Alliance Française, we'll have 3 bands performing with a special guest coming from Zambia. His name is Mumbayachi. And here at Alliance, one of our goals is also to develop the cultural exchanges with the French-speaking countries.
Still in entertainment, this weekend, Harare is a hive of activity with some of the country's biggest musicians performing at the redefined concert currently underway at the Harare International Conference Center. A star-studded lineup of artists, including Ja Praiser, Winky D, Felinandi and Master H are performing at the concert. Elsewhere, old Hararians will host South Africa's Sun El musician Prince KB, Oscar Mbo, and
Kilati's song Kana
position 11 from 12 last week. Holy Ten's Banga on position 20 has managed to stay on the chart for over 4 months. Patience Nyagato, ZBC News, Harare.
We take a breather. We will be back with sport.
That's why every morning deserves a smart start. Nestle Ceravita, highly nutritious, simply delicious.
Football stakeholders have called upon the ZIFA Normalization Committee to prioritize Warriors' preparations for the upcoming COSAFA Cup slated for South Africa from the 26th of this month to the 7th of July.
After the just ended 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers in which the Warriors fared dismally, the Warriors head straight into the 2024 COSAFA Cup. The annual regional tournament is slated for Durban from the 26th of this month to the 7th of July. The draw for the tournament was held this Friday in Johannesburg, where the Warriors were drawn in Group B alongside a record 7-10 champions Zambia, unpredictable Comoros, and a guest team yet to be named. After the disastrous 2 matches against Lesotho and South Africa in the World Cup qualifiers, stakeholders have called upon the ZIFA Normalization Committee to better prepare the team this time around.
Pamberi apo tochigadzirirawo tichinge tichiwinawo mitambo iyi nekuti tikangotiwo tiwane nguva yekuti vatambi vawane nguva yekutraina vari vese vachijairirana, macombinations achibuda and zvinotifambira mushe. Ndakafara zvikuru ndichiona vakomana vakauya kubva kunze, vana Chirewa, vana Musendami, those are young players and vakatamba good soccer and vakatiratidza kuti no development inotangira kuti kuvapfana, ngativapei mukana.
Modern football is different from old school football. Points matters. What's the plan to get those points? Do we want a full-time coach? And what's happening now with the soccer fans and with what's going on, there is too much confusion now. Because the soccer fans will say this, the media will say this, the people will say this, and the people who were driving this should have given us direction to say this is where we are going.
Interim coach Jairus Tapera has already named his provisional squad to do duty at the tournament, with a number of changes from the one that played at the World Cup qualifiers.
Meanwhile, football fans have raised concern on the criteria used to select the COSAFA team, saying a number of informed locally based players have been denied the opportunity to feature in the regional tournament set for Durban late this month. Football fans believe the preparations and the selection criteria are a recipe for disaster in a competition that Zimbabwe is known for dominating.
Siyabona ukuthi yakungasakwazi ukuthi okhetha ama-players lawo ngucoach kumbe bakhona kuvele abalabantu babo abakuthi khona hayi ngifuna umngani wami kumbe umntaka bamalume ami ezodlala, ngoba nxa sesikhuluma ngeform ama-players akuform kathesi, especially ama-local based, yiwo angathi siwafake emagemini awe-COSAFA to market themselves ukuthi labo bebe lentshunkutsha yokuthi khona bedlala emazweni.
Abaningi kakhulu ngoba labani team indlela ayikhethe ngayo zathi azange sayizwisisa njengabalandeli belizwe lethu. Akhona amanye ama-players esikwakhangelele ukuthi ngabe bafakwe team liyana badlalela ibhola lethu lasekhaya, kodwa akucaci ukuthi kwenzakalani ngoba ngendlela i-team liyana iyadlala ngayo ibhola ngaleli ayelanga ayizange yajabulisa abalandeli.
Laphana mboni ngani ucoach njani uthethe lama-foreign based player kwenza ukuthi njani for the next njani ama-AFCON qualify ukuthi njani ebona ukuthi bayadlala nibazofita na kusquad esizayo.
Zimbabwe are record holders of the regional COSAFA tournament, having won it 6 times and featured in the finals 12 times.
Former champions FC Platinum have moved to the apex of the Premier Soccer League standings after Manica Diamonds dropped points against Yada this Saturday.
9 goals were produced in Saturday's Premier Soccer League matches to mark an emphatic return to domestic action after a break to pave way for international football. It was a return to action to relish for FC Platinum, whose trip to Luveve Stadium paid off as a solitary goal from Davison Maroa was enough to guarantee them the 3 points over a tricky Bulawayo Chiefs outfit. The maximum points collected were enough to make some changes on the PSL standings as the Platinum Miners ascended to the top of the table after Manica Diamonds drew with Yada. Kama Billiard denied the Manica-based side the 3 points as he scored a 63rd minute goal to take his season tally to 5 goals. The goal had disastrous consequences for Jairus Tapera's system boys as they were deposed off top spot by an ambitious FC Platinum who took full advantage of that slip. Third placed Simba Bora were ruthless in their pursuit of top spot after they thrashed Arenal Movers by 3-0. A Warriors forward, Timon Machope, marked his return from national duty with a brace as Arenal failed to find an answer to the Simba surge. It was a good day for Ngeze Platinum Stars, who also scored 3 unanswered goals to humiliate Chicken Inn at the Baobab. A lethal striker, Obrio Chirinda, put past the boardroom walls as he scored a goal on debut after coming on as a substitute for Madamburo. Action continues this Sunday as Dynamos welcomes ZPC Kariba to Rufaro Stadium. Bikita Minerals face Islanders for the first time at Babafield Stadium. Walter 1 date Caps United at Butter Stadium. Troubled Chegutu Pirates face your rentals, while Wange takes on Green Fuel at the Colliery. Reynaud Ngwarati, ZBC News.
Local referees have attended a seminar on amendments to law of the game with 5 changes set to be effected on the 1st of next month.
5 laws of the game will come into effect next month, raising the need for officials to be kept abreast with the ever-changing regulations. It is with this in mind that local referees attended the seminar at Milton High School in Malawi this Saturday, with facilitators highlighting the need for officials to implement them. Seminar facilitator Brighton Yika noted the need for officials to be capacitated with the international best practices of the game.
This seminar is a provincial course. We are doing amendments of the laws of the game. Since you know that 1 July there will be changes to the laws of the game. So we are trying to make sure our referees are abreast with the rest of the world so that we are in line. Whatever we are doing should be consistent.
Co-facilitator Edson Nkau said there is need for the media to convey the message to the 12th men.
Previously, what we used to do is to maybe have the teams and the officials, then we brief them on the law changes. We have done that with the press people, and we can still do that. I think the press can play a very important role on the changes.
5 changes on laws of the game will be effected on Law 1, 3, 4, 12, and 14. On Law 1, the field of play, the goal line technology system should automatically confirm a goal in seconds through the referee's earpiece or headset. Law 3 allows for the additional permanent conclusion substitution on top of the stipulated 5. Law 4 on compulsory equipment will see players having compulsory equipment like shin guards, while the captain should wear an armband, which is simple and conforms to the requirements of Law 4 on slogans, statements, images, and advertising. Law 12 on fouls and misconduct will see an amendment on the disciplinary action for cautions and unsporting behavior. Law 14 on penalty kick offenses and sanctions will see a player being penalized for encroaching or challenging an opponent for the ball and preventing the opponents from scoring or attempting to score. Mtokozi Stume, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
That's all for tonight. Thank you for having joined us. Good night.